Hello, everyone, and welcome to Walker Reads. I am your host, MJ Walker. Today, I will be bringing you another installation in the series Rabinoe, Wizard Extraordinaire. If you enjoy what you are hearing, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It truly helps me to develop my channel. Without further ado, I bring you the next episode in Rabinoe, Wizard Extraordinaire. Episode 17, Pickett. "I yield!" the assailant cried. "I yield! I yield! I surrender! Please, don't kill me!" Rabinoe frowned, looking down at the shrouded figure beneath him. He certainly hadn't expected such a reaction from someone that was attempting to skewer him with arrows. Rabinoe reached down and pulled back the hood that hid the attacker's face. A young man grinned up at Rabinoe abashedly, sharp, ice-blue eyes and a pale face framed by lanky, greasy, shoulder-length black hair. "Hiya," the young man said, grinning wider. "Who in the hells are you?" Rabinoe demanded, not wavering from his position of dominance. "And why are you trying to kill me?" "Kill you?" the young man asked, looking shocked. "Oh, no, you've got that part all wrong, see?" The young man struggled to sit up, attempting to put a finger beneath the arrowhead pressed to his jugular, but Rabinoe persisted, not letting the man move. I wasn't trying to kill you, just trying to get you to go away. Boy, you have a firm grip." "He's lying," Eris said sharply. Rabinoe hadn't seen the cat emerge from the foliage, but she sat just out of arm's reach, perched on her haunches and watching the whole exchange with a look of murder in her eyes. "I say we kill him." "Holy hells," the man breathed, looking up at Eris. "Did that cat just talk?" "I asked you a question," Rabinoe demanded, pressing the tip of the arrow until it bit at the man's throat. Right, yes," the young man said. "Poor manners of me, eh? I reckon I was just getting around to that name part when the kitty went all human on me." "Answer," Rabinoe said through clenched teeth. "The question." Okay, the man protested, squirming beneath Rabinoe. "I'm Pickett. Pickett Shield, okay?" "All right, Pickett," Rabinoe began. "Kill him," Eris prompted, her eyes singing with rage. "Every word out of his mouth is a lie." "Eris," Rabinoe growled, "please shut the hells up. We're not killing him. At least not yet." He said this last part looking down at Pickett. "That all depends on you." Right, Pickett said. "So how do I get you to not do that part?" "Start talking," Rabinoe demanded. Right, Pickett stammered. Okay. You see, when you start hunting an elk, the most important part is knowing what season it is. You see, the elk get real crazy during the rut, and that can make them hells, Rabinoe breathed. "Why are you here? Why are you poisoning the river? And why did you try to kill us when we showed up?" "Oh, see," Pickett said with an abashed grin. "I wasn't actually trying to kill you. Remember, I already said that part." "Then answer the other parts." "Right," Pickett said, squirming once more. Okay. I'll talk. But could you, maybe get off of my chest?" "No," Eris and Rabinoe said in unison. "Okay," Pickett said slowly. "Gotcha. Right. Okay, so where do I start?" "Try the beginning," Rabinoe said. "And maybe cut out the bullshit this time." Pickett swallowed hard and smiled broadly once more. "Right," he said. "No bullshit. Okay, sure, yeah. Well, you see..." "Get to the point already," Eris growled. "I was getting there," Pickett complained. Okay. So I guess the first part to mention is that man, James, he's my cousin." "You are related to James?" Rabinoe asked incredulously. "Oh yeah," Pickett said cheerfully. "And that little bookworm stole my farm. It's really him you should be pressing an arrow to, I'm plumb innocent in all this." "Innocent?" Eris asked dangerously. "That went out the window the second you fired an arrow at the eternal cat." With all due respect, Miss Cat, Pickett said, craning his head to look at her from the ground, I had no idea you were eternal and all. Then why did you just start shooting? Rabinoe asked. If you had no idea who we were or why we were here, why didn't you just approach us? Well, Pickett said slowly, I was kind of tainting the river and all. I kind of guessed y'all were here to stop me. You guessed that part right, Rabinoe said. So why were you poisoning the river to begin with? Well, Pickett began. I kind of said that part already, yeah? That man James, he stole my farm and I was endeavoring to get it back. By poisoning the river? Rabinoe asked. I meant no harm by it, see? Pickett answered. I knew they had a well for drinking water, so I wouldn't be hurting them, at least not directly. But, Rabinoe said, frustrated, why didn't you just go talk to him? Oh yeah, that'd work out real nice like, Pickett said sarcastically. Hey there, I know we never met before, but you kind of stole my inheritance. Be cool and kick your bucket on down the road, yeah? James thinks you're dead, Rabinoe shot back. Your father begged him to take over the farm when you didn't return. What was I supposed to do, send a pigeon? Pickett said in exasperation. When I left the old man, we had a bit of falling out, see? He didn't really like my magic, and I didn't really like his attitude. So we both might have said some mean things to each other, and then I kind of ran off. Didn't mean to leave the bastard to his deathbed, but I guess it's as good as dog poo now. Eris hissed softly. I hate dogs. Oh, Pickett said with a grin. I'm sorry, Miss Cat. I meant no offense by it. Stay on topic, Rabinoe growled. What happened after you ran off? What do you mean? Pickett answered. I went to Ohangpor, didn't I? The only place I know of that teaches magic. You mean you went to go get training? Of course, Pickett grinned again. My old man, he didn't have a problem with my magic exactly. See, he had a problem with how much I was mucking stuff up, trying to use magic to make it easier. Always looking to work smarter, not harder, my friend. And by doing so, Rabinoe continued, you pissed off your dad. Royally so, Pickett nodded. I'd say the last straw was the time I accidentally made the well into a geyser when the water bucket was taking too long to get back up. Nearly emptied the whole reservoir. He was right livid with me. Nearly tanned my hide into leather, he did. So let me get this straight, Rabinoe growled. You ran off because you fought with your dad, went to get trained in magic, came back to find your dad dead and your cousin running your family farm, and your first instinct is to poison the river? Well, Pickett said slowly, not exactly. Elaborate, Eris said sharply. You see, Pickett answered, first I tried to scare them off, wailing in the night and acting like spirits done taken over the farm. I suppose I wasn't very convincing, though. That didn't seem to do shit. Rabinoe rubbed his face with his free hand in exasperation. And not one single time, he said, glaring down at Pickett, did it even occur to you to have a rational conversation with the man? I already answered that part, remember? He said with an abashed grin. Look, I don't speak so well. I was afraid that James would just sweet-talk me into some deal I had no business accepting. So you made assumptions, Rabinoe continued. Made a half-hearted attempt to scare them off, then when that didn't work, what? You just said, fuck it, I'm gonna poison the river? Hells, Pickett said with a frown. You make it sound way worse than it really is. No, Rabinoe said. It sounds way worse because it is. You could have killed someone. Not to mention, we still haven't addressed why you tried to kill me. Aw, come on now, Pickett squirmed uncomfortably. I already answered that part. Hells, I hate repeating myself. I wasn't trying to kill you guys, okay? I was trying to get you to go away. By shooting arrows at our head? Ah, see? Pickett answered confidently. But none of them actually hit you, did they? Only by luck in our combined efforts to combat you? Nah, Pickett continued. I pulled every shot, see? I missed on purpose. Rabinoe, frustrated, took a deep breath before he went on. You could have fooled me. I'm a crack shot, Pickett said with his smile returning. And that was before I went and learned magic. Now I can pierce a rabbit's fart from 300 paces. Hunting is kind of my specialty. Lies, Eris said, stalking closer to the pair and looming over Pickett. Lies, lies, and more lies. No lies, Pickett squeaked. Honest, I can even prove it to you. Like we would give you your weapon back, Rabinoe snorted. What do you take us for? I don't need my bow to prove it, Pickett said. A rock would work just the same. Rabinoe looked up at Eris, a question in his eyes. When he saw that she was still consumed by the murderous rage dictating her actions, he decided against asking. Instead, he looked back down at Pickett, who was grinning once more. How do you plan on proving it? Let's see. Pickett craned his neck around, searching the treetops. Oh, there we go. See that odd branch sticking out of the top of the tree over there? That one that's all bald-like? Rabinoe looked at the indicated tree. Yes. I can throw one rock, Pickett said confidently, and knock that old bald bugger out of the treetop. With one rock? Rabinoe asked incredulously. Oh, yeah! Rabinoe sighed. He came up short on alternatives. Looking to Eris, he said, If he misses or throws at anything other than that branch, you have my permission to do as you please. Do as you please, Pickett repeated with alarm. What does that mean? Eris grinned maliciously and brought her paw to rest just above the man's face, slowly extending her deadly sharp claws. Exactly that, human. Whatever I please. Right, Pickett swallowed hard. Right. Okay, guess I better not miss then, huh? Better not, Rabinoe agreed, finally removing the arrow from Pickett's throat and standing, watching the young man as he rubbed at the point where the arrow had rested. Pickett looked from Rabinoe to Eris and nodded, rising slowly from the ground. He searched all around where he had lain and extricated an oblong rock, roughly the size of an arrowhead, from beneath the grass beneath him. He raised it slowly, showing both Rabinoe and Eris that it was indeed just a normal rock. Getting to his feet, Pickett laid the stone in his open palm and stared at it intently. Rabinoe felt the buzz of will magic singing through the air and tightened his grip on the arrow still in his hand. Finally, Pickett looked up at the indicated branch, which was all the way across the clearing from them, easily 100 paces or more away. He judged the weight of the stone in his hand, then turned his body for a proper throw. Pickett stared at the branch intently, and Rabinoe felt more magic crackle through the air. With a sharp movement, Pickett took one step forward and flung the stone. With incredible accuracy, the stone zipped through the air, straight to the branch, striking it just where it emerged from the treetop. A resounding crack rang through the air, and a second later, the branch waved morosely before tumbling from the treetop, severed from its support. Pickett turned back to Rabinoe and Eris with a wide grin on his face. See? He said. I wasn't trying to kill you. I was only trying to scare you away. Rabinoe looked to Eris with an eyebrow raised. She met his gaze, still looking murderous. This proves nothing, she said with finality. Oh, come on, Pickett whined. That was a beautiful throw. No way you could doubt my skills now. Rabinoe sighed, rubbing his face once more. Okay, fine, he began. So let's say you weren't trying to kill us. That still leaves us in the same predicament. You are poisoning the river and we have come to stop it. Well, Pickett squirmed. I admit defeat here. Y'all bested me. I can't stop you from pulling the elk from the river, but... But what? Eris growled. It's just... he began, staring at the dirt. I don't know what else to do, really. I came back to make things right with the old man, and now that he's dead, well... I guess I just wanted to make him proud, you know? By trying to kill your cousin, Rabinoe asked incredulously, I doubt that would make him proud. Oh, come on, Pickett whined again. I done told you I wasn't trying to kill nobody. You've got a hella way of going about that. Okay, Pickett conceded. Okay. You're right, okay? I shouldn't have poisoned the river. But I was upset, yeah? And that gives you the right to terrorize your own kin? Well, Pickett wringed his hands together. I suppose not. You need to leave them alone, Rabinoe demanded. Whatever happened between you and your father is in the past. James owns and runs that farm now, on your father's wishes, I might add. But, Rabinoe, excuse me, but Pickett looked at Rabinoe, misery scrawled all over his face. What am I supposed to do now? You could try talking to James, Rabinoe said. Psh, Pickett huffed. Fat chance of that working out well for me. Well, Rabinoe continued, then you could go back to Ohangpur, make a living for yourself there. You're clearly a skilled hunter, and with will magic at your fingertips, I imagine you could do quite well for yourself. Pickett seemed to think this over for a moment. You got a good point there, he said slowly. The Royal Guard was already looking to recruit me. There you go, Rabinoe said. You can go join the Guard and leave James alone. Make your father proud through your acceptance of his wishes and through living your own life well. Pickett sighed a deep, wearisome sigh. I just wish I got to say I'm sorry to the old bugger. I'm sure he knew, Rabinoe said softly. But poisoning the river and terrorizing your cousin are not ways to show how sorry you are. Pickett nodded, wiping tears from his eyes. Right you are, sir. Right you are. This is ridiculous, Eris snapped. He spews nothing but lies. The second we leave, he is apt to go right back to what he was doing. No, Pickett said, eyes wide. No, Miss Cat. I accept what y'all are saying here. I'll stop my shenanigans and move on. Then it's time to go, Rabinoe said with finality. Now. All right, Pickett said. All right. I'll go. Good. I never got your name, by the way, Pickett said to Rabinoe. Rabinoe sighed. I'm Rabinoe, Wizard Extraordinaire. Pickett raised an eyebrow. Alrighty then, Rabinoe. You can call me Pick. All my friends back in Ohangpur do anyways. Fine, Rabinoe said, crossing his arms. Now it's time to go, Pick. It took the rest of the afternoon and well into the evening for Rabinoe and Eris to make their way back to James' farm. The return trip was far swifter, given the lack of caution they took on the way there. By the time they arrived at the farmstead, night had fallen in earnest, the stars twinkling merrily in the sky and the moon beginning to crest the horizon. James and Averanda sat together on the porch, rocking slowly in their bench swing and talking in low voices. When they spotted Rabinoe approaching in the darkness, James exclaimed joyfully. Thank the gods, he shouted. Oh, I am so relieved to see the two of you are okay. I appreciate that, James, Rabinoe said with a smile. We're a little banged up, but no worse for wear. What happened? Averanda asked. What did you discover? Rabinoe looked to James, who confirmed with an uncomfortable look sideways at his wife. He had not told her what Rabinoe had discovered before he departed from the farm. Rabinoe took a moment to coalesce what had transpired throughout the afternoon into a cohesive story. He then told them both what he had found, beginning with the discovery that the river had been poisoned and ending with the reveal of Pickett. Pickett? James took a deep breath. Hells, I thought he was dead. Negative, Rabinoe said. Alive and well, though hopefully he is true to his word and is well on his way back to Ohangpur by now. Why didn't he come talk to me? James exclaimed. It's not like we're strangers. He was afraid that you would talk him into something else, Rabinoe answered. At least that's what he said. James sighed. Even as children, Pick was always intimidated by how well-spoken I was. It's not like the man is daft. He's actually quite intelligent. Just never had the patience to sit down and read. Well, Rabinoe continued, regardless, he should no longer be a problem for you guys. And we removed the source of the toxin in the river as well. You should see improvement within days. The plants that have already died are obviously beyond saving, but the ones who are fighting for life should pull through. I can't believe he was poisoning the river, James said, looking at his wife in shock. She shook her head. How can you be so certain he won't return? She asked Rabinoe. I'm not, Rabinoe replied honestly. But if you have a map of the area, I will mark out where he was camped out. If anything funny starts happening again, you need to report it to the Royal Guard so they can take appropriate actions to stop him. How can we ever repay you? James asked Rabinoe. This was mutually beneficial, Rabinoe responded. I got to continue my training while assisting you. No repayment is necessary, I assure you. Besides, Eris said haughtily, he cannot accept payment for his work, even if you offered it. Those are the terms of his pilgrimage. Averanda stared at Eris with her mouth hanging open. Did that cat just talk? She asked slowly. It's shocking, right? James said to her with a broad grin. That's Miss Eternal Cat, Eris. Eris purred loudly, inclining her head towards the couple. A pleasure, I'm sure. Amazing, Averanda muttered, slack-jawed. The two of you are going to blow up her ego beyond bearing, Rabinoe said. She's already a thorn in my side. Me? Eris scoffed. A thorn in your side? How amusing. So what will you do now? James interjected. Can we at least offer you a place to stay for the time being? That would be lovely, Rabinoe said wearily. The last few days had been quite draining, and a comfortable bed would do me wonders. Then why don't the two of you come on inside? Averanda said. I'm sure I have a saucer of milk, if it's not beneath Miss Eternal Cat's dignity. Did she say saucer of milk? Eris hissed into Rabinoe's ear. Quick, Rabbit, go with them. I must have it! End. Episode 17. Pickett. I hope you enjoyed what I am presenting to you today. The next episode in Rabinoe Wizard Extraordinaire. I will be releasing new episodes every Monday morning at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And once again, if you do enjoy what I am presenting to you, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It truly helps me develop my channel. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day.